Hello, everyone. This is John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, here at the Humalan Village, where each one reach one, each one teach one brick, one building, one block at a time. As we often say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. We show that we care by the things that we do. And today, I hope all is well. I hope parents, you're not breaking the bank for those kids for Easter, because it's only for one day. There's a reason for the season. And the season and the reason is Jesus. And if it had not been for him, who is on our side, where would we be? I just thank God today for being here in the land of the living as well as here with my brother. Both of us still here trying to make a difference, trying to make some changes in our lives, trying to make better decisions, trying to make those decisions, as you often hear me say, the good for me decisions rather than good to me decisions. And once again, as usual, I just like to focus on helping and building one another and as well as relationships. And relationships goes deeper than just a husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, uh, two amigos like me and my brother right here. It's deeper than that. It's just being able to meet the need and whatever the need might be, trying to lift one another up and then help one another. Uh, just not too long ago, my brother here and I was just sitting down and we were just talking. And I told the story about my brother George Beverly at his funeral. And I spoke. And George was a very interesting young man. He had a lot of talents, but he was into a lot of things as well. And sometimes they was good, sometimes they was bad, and always different. But I asked a question, am I my brother's keeper? And I responded to the question that I asked as if I had 1,000 pound sack of cement on my shoulder, pushed down. Yes, I am. The load was heavy and hard, but yet and still I am my brother's keeper. You are your brothers and sisters' keeper. And through our relationships, like I say, family, husband, wives, it's very important that we take each other into consideration. It's more than just us in the relationship, and our relationship affects more than just us, more than just you, more than just I, more than others. You have in a marriage, in some cases, husband and wives with children's, that relationship don't only just affects the husband and wife, but it affects the children's as well. And those children watches you. They watches dad. They watches mama. They watch what she do. They watches what he does, how they work together or not. And what we are actually doing, and those kids are like sponges. They're soaking up stuff. A lot of times we wonder why a child don't say a lot. In a lot of cases, they're not saying much because they're soaking up, they're learning, they're picking up good habits or bad ones. They watching and seeing how you treat their mother or how the boyfriend is treating his girlfriend. They're watching how the girlfriend or the wife is treating their significant other. They also watches how you treat them. And we have to be careful, even when we're dealing with our children, how we treat them, the sisters and brothers. You always want to treat them and give them the same kind of love that you give the other. You don't want it to be misunderstood that you care more about one than you do the other. I have children and I have grandchildren, and I often tell them I said, yeah, you all are daddies and granddaddies, babies. I say, and I love you all, and I love you dearly, and I love hard. And often I let them know how much they are loved, and that no matter what, that they are being loved by their grandmom and granddaddy and their mother and their father and their sisters and brothers. If they're not being loved by nobody else, you don't have to look for love in all the wrong places because you have enough of family to be that crutch for you, to be there for you, to help meet the needs that you can go to your mom and daddy or your granddaddy or your grandmother and ask questions. You shouldn't be afraid to ask questions because we don't know everything. I don't know everything. The wife don't know everything. Your mom and dad don't know everything. And we are also learning daily ourselves. So I just want to say to each and every one of you, practice being careful how you communicate, how you talk to one another, how you lift each other up, how you love on one another. Make sure those kids see that you love their mother, that granddaddy loves grandmama, grandmama loves granddaddy, mama loves daddy, and the children. Make sure that you practice and show that love because I mean we don't have time to be trying to figure out. Oh, I wonder, do he love me? He don't act like he love me. But if you don't say anything, it should be able and notice enough just by things that you do that you are being loved. And when I say that, you show love. Love is action. You don't like my father and I would say sometimes, I love you, I love you, I love you. But all of that, I love you, I love you, I love you got to show some signs. You got to show me that love. I mean, anybody can say it, but you got to show me. Show me what you're talking about. Show me what you're working with. You working with love, show it to me. Bring me some flowers home every now and then. Uh, Mom, Daddy likes fried chicken every now and then, or fried pork chops, or some oxtails, and greens, whatever it is. Dad, Mama be there cooking all the time. So, every now and then she like to go out to dinner. So every now and then surprise her, call up and let her know, okay, baby, I know you know fixed dinner already, but I want to take you out today. Do those kind of things. And not only, like I say, my brother here, he know that I love him because of the things that I do. He don't have to wonder about it. He don't have to, me and John is cool, and I wonder how he really feel about me. Well, I have a brotherly love for this man. I love him just as much as I love myself. There's nothing that I wouldn't do for myself that I would not be afraid or have a problem with trying to do or help him do for himself. And on that note, I'm going to share some of this time with him and give him a chance to say something because he's a wise old dude. He try to act like he don't know too much, but that's why I like to have him on here with me. Especially, I don't find out down through the years that he been holding back, and people need to know some of this stuff.
Well, all I can say is this is my brother from another mother, and that is something that is just not a word. When you say certain things, it's like when he's talking about the family and the relationship with the children. It was always don't do like I do like I tell you to do. Well, that's a good saying, but children watch what you do, and they will model, pick up some bad habits if you got bad habits that you practice in front of them. You don't want them to smoke, don't smoke. If you want them to be studious, let them see you reading. Let them see you with a book in your hand. Let them see that what is important to you. They think, well, that was important to my dad. There's got to be something about it. So I better start checking out why he got this book in his hand. And your children are subject to a whole lot of influences outside the home. And you can't control that. But what you do inside your home, they're watching you. They're hearing you. They see and they feel. So you got to put that atmosphere around them of love, respect in your home. And they will learn to do that with each other, your family members. And like this brother here, he's like my baby brother. I lost my baby brother some years back. But when I looked at the time that I had growing up in my teenage years, when I got about 19 years old, got drafted by the military, I looked at my younger brother and I looked at my brother next to me and I said, well, I don't want to go, but I go over there, and while I'm over there, they can't send them over there while I'm over there. So I would take that weight being the oldest. And like, that's showing the love in a special way that they wouldn't even realize what I was doing. And I didn't really want to go because there was too many people coming back in body bags. So I just said, well, that be my fate. That's the chance I got to take. And my father told me I had a 50-50 chance because he told me, he said if it was left up to him, he'd go to Canada. I said, well, I don't feel like running to Canada. I don't know nobody over there. But he said, I can't tell you what to do. That's your life ahead of you. But you got a 50-50 chance. And I took that chance. But I took it for a reason. I didn't just take it because I'm shooting craps trying to get lucky. I said, well, my brother next to me and my baby brother coming behind me, if while I'm over there and they had this so-called rule or act or law, what they call the Sullivan Act, that two brothers couldn't be in the same combat zone. Now, while I would be in that combat zone for 13 months, they can get drafted, but they couldn't send them in a combat zone while I was over there. So I'm looking out to try and put a buffer in between my brothers and the military to say you can't override your own law and subject them to danger and put the whole family in danger. Because if you ever heard, the Sullivan Act was created by a family of brothers who all was on the same ship in the Navy. Ship got torpedoed and they all went down, they all drowned. The mother and the father said, they lost their whole future with them boys. So some kind of way Congress got together, the senators and everybody, she protested enough to get this act invoked on military that you can't take the same family members and put them in a dangerous zone. So that building that kind of relationship based on what you feel for your brothers, your sisters, your father, your mother, your uncles and your aunts. Some days you just have to step up and stop being a child. And when you're in a manly position and you becoming a man, you do manly things. And that you got to show that to the children. You just can't let your children see you doing all kind of unnecessary stuff, smoking, drinking, and falling out, because they're gonna think it's acceptable. And they may not say nothing or understand it right then and there, but they are watching. That's going into the back of their mind, it's being recorded in their brain. And one day they're gonna say, well, it was all right for dad, and I guess I can do it. So building a relationship, build a solid relationship. Build one based on trust, based on respect, and based on honor. Honor your mother and your father, for your days will be long. And I'm not a preacher. I'm not a saint, but I respect those that practice what they preach. And that's part of the problem. Most people say things that don't really mean. So what you speak out your mouth, you're going to be held accountable. Your children are listening. So give them some facts, some truth, and some love. Let them build on that. I don't want to get too carried away, but you guys have a beautiful holiday, and pray for those in your family that done fell by the wayside. Help those that you can. Pray for those that you can't. That's my day for the day.
Well, thank you, Piaka. I appreciate you. And as you were speaking, I was also thinking about the families as well. We have to learn how to collaborate with one another, how to cooperate with one another, how to not always think that things supposed to be our way. We have to compromise a little bit. So we have to give and take. So on that note, let's compromise with one another. Remember, there's a husband and a wife, there's children, and sometimes you have to give a little bit to get a little bit. So let's work with one another and continue to love on one another. Thank you for listening to John Beverly, the businessman with a conscience, here at the Human Village, where each one reach one, each one teach one. One brick, one building, one block at a time. And remember, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And we show by the things that we do. Thank you and have a great day.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.